Happy New Year and welcome to my channel. I am Tasha Marie, the creator and owner of Seep. And as you can see by the title below, this is going to be a Q&A over my small business and a few things about my personal life. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell down below to help grow this channel even more. And also don't forget to follow me on social media, seep.soap. I'm gonna have it here someplace. But let's get into this video. I do have my phone that I have all of the questions on, so we're just gonna get right into it. So first and foremost, thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. I hit 1,000 subscribers like right before Christmas, and I am so overjoyed. One of my goals this year is try to make it at least to 5,000 or more. A little bit about me. I am married with 3 kids. I recently had a baby girl in October. I am an active duty soldier. I have been in 16 years. And I plan to definitely retire, but I am going to be focusing on my small business more as the time dwindles down. We're going to get right into these questions. The first one is, what inspired you to start making products or soap? So again, being in the military, we move around a lot. Different places have different types of waters. Some waters are more harsher on the skin than others. It started off just being for me and my family. My oldest son has eczema, so it was really bad for him. And the store-bought products just had too many other ingredients in there that were not helping the situation. I would know exactly what was in each product and that it was a more natural product than having a whole bunch of alcohols and things like that. And it improved my family's skin a lot. So that's why I decided to start making my own products. Next question. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Honestly, in 3 years, I see myself having my own storefront. I do plan on moving into a bigger space at the end of this year. With all of the love that I'm getting from my subscribers and my followers from the other social media, I feel like I'm gonna have to get a bigger space soon. And so with that being said, in 3 years, I'm definitely gonna have a storefront. Do you plan on adding new products? Right now, I don't plan on adding too many more products because I've learned through this journey to streamline certain things. And when you have too many items, it takes away. And also, I want to build on my craft. I don't want to have 100 different products and only a handful be good and the other handful just be mediocre. I want everything that I have to be great. Any learned lessons in marketing? Yes, so one of the learned lessons that I have found in marketing is that you definitely have to put yourself out there, and you have to put yourself out there on all social media platforms, or even put yourself out there in person. And in the beginning, I did not do that. I was real light on social media. I didn't think it was going to help as much as it is doing now. And so that is one lesson that I've learned in the marketing field, is to put myself out there. How do you keep track of inventory? My job in the military is logistics, so I'm all about organization and inventory and things like that. A couple different ways that I keep track of all my inventory is, one, I have a few different Excel spreadsheets, and I also do inventory once a week just to see what I have and what I need to make. And so it makes it a lot easier when I can physically see and touch what I have and use a pen and a paper and just mark off. And then I'm thinking about moving over to Crafty Base. I'm not sure yet because I'm just so used to how I've been doing it. but that's something I'm going to keep in mind. How do you decide pricing? How I decide pricing is also through my Excel spreadsheet. So I break everything down as far as what 1 bar of soap is going to cost me. And that's going to include all of the ingredients, the packaging, and the labels. And once I know, okay, it's going to cost me, say, $3 for everything for 1 bar of soap, then I times it by 3. And so that'll put me at $9. Everybody is different. Some people do 4 times what it costs to make the actual product. I normally stick with 3. And another reason why I stick with 3 is when I do my discounts that I'm not going to be losing money on the back end. I'll still be able to make something with discounts. When is it best to register your business for tax purposes? So I'm not a tax professional whatsoever, but what I did was when I decided to actually start selling my products, I am here in Texas. I got my EIN number and I applied for like a seller's certificate or something like that. It escapes me right now, but I applied to be able to sell here in Texas. And so what that does is it helps with the taxes because I have to pay quarterly instead of at the end of the year. But for the question, I would say do it as soon as possible. You don't want to start selling something or putting yourself out there without having the proper documentation and paperwork in place. What weight would you recommend for the first batch of soap for a small business? To be honest with you, it all depends. So what I did was just practicing. I used small molds like this, and then once I made it, perfected the recipe, then I wouldn't make any more than about 20 or 30, only because I didn't want to have a whole bunch of soap just laying around collecting dust. So I started off with very small batches and I just slowly made my way up to the longer molds. What makes your soap different from the rest? And that is a really common question, but I feel like what makes my soaps different, well, what makes my soaps and my other products different from the rest is my additives and ingredients that I put into it. Just like my lotions are made with aloe vera juice, avocado oil, and shea butter. They might just use mango butter or they might just use shea butter. But I just feel like the ingredients that I use are different. Just like in my soaps, I also use a lot of different butters and I use avocado oil as well. How many hours a week do you dedicate to your business? So I try to dedicate as many hours as possible. Being a full-time mom and having a full-time job, sometimes it can get overwhelming, but what I do is I schedule out everything. So if I'm at work from 9 to 5, my lunch period, I am focusing on my business, and whether that's creating or printing off labels, prepping my batches to create soaps, just making my to-do lists. I do that during lunch, so once I get home, I go ahead, cook dinner, get my kids situated, then my husband takes over, and I can dedicate about 3 or 4 hours each night on my business. And then of course I don't do Saturdays. Saturdays are strictly for family and Sunday mornings are strictly for family, but I do tend to record most of the time Sunday nights, maybe Monday. Then I would take the time out during my lunch break to edit the video. Now right now I am on maternity leave, so I have a lot more time and I have been doing a lot more things as far as creating reels, TikTok, of course YouTube, getting my pictures and everything together, and just trying to set myself up for when I do go back to work. If you would like to see like maybe a day in the life or a vlog of how I manage my time, please leave a comment down below. Do you sell at farmers markets, and how do you prep? So I actually do have a video here on YouTube about one of the farmers markets that I have done. And yes, that's the answer to the question. I do farmers markets. I try to do at least 4 or 5 a year. I do plan on doing one this March and April. And how I prep is, honestly, again, I have a million checklists and a million to-do lists, and I go by what's going to take the longest. So I prepare and make my soaps first so I can have enough curing time for that 6 to 8 weeks. And then I make everything after that: bath bombs, sugar scrubs, lip balms, lotions, things like that. I do wait until a little bit closer to that day. And another thing that I do is I actually set up like my tent, and I do a mock setup and take pictures. So when it's that day, I'm not trying to figure out, okay, where I'm going to put this, where am I going to put that. I already have a vision in mind of how things are going to look on that day. What is the worst business mistake you made and why? Just like I said before, in streamlining, I had to learn that on my own. When I very first started, I was trying to make big batches of soap, not really knowing what I was doing and wasting money. And then as time went on, I was still making these big batches of soap, and because I wasn't putting myself out there like I should have been, they weren't selling. And so I was sitting on all of this inventory, and then over time the soap scent started to fade, or the color started to fade, or I changed my recipe because I felt like I needed to add something new or different to it. So that's like one mistake that I definitely made. Another mistake is following all of these trends. So on top of soaps and everything like that, I decided to make body mists or body sprays. I bought a big, I think it's like a 10-pound, the body mist base. So all you had to do was really just add in your fragrance and coloring or whatever you wanted to do. And I didn't sell any, and I still have a whole bunch. So that's one thing that I wish I would have either one, scaled it down and just bought a little bit smaller size just to see if it would sell or not. And two, not jump on bandwagons or trends super fast, not knowing how to maneuver through it. Some people can do it, but then those people that can do it, they know how to make it work for them. What's the best thing that has happened in 2022? Obviously, the birth of my daughter is one of the best things, and YouTube. I'm an introvert, so this was definitely something totally new for me, and just getting to a little over 1,000 subscribers within less than 3-4 months, it just really made me feel like this is what I should have been doing from the beginning. And it was one of the best things that I did. I literally jumped out the window and said, hey, I'm gonna start making YouTube videos. And I did, and now we're here. And the last thing I'm gonna do, is not necessarily a question, but it's just a goal that I have for 2023. I already stated that I want a bigger size for my studio, instead of this office. Now this office is great because it's inside my house and it is very convenient, but I do want something a little bit bigger, so when I do grow even more, I can grow into the space. I do want to be more present on social media. My plan is to try to post at least 2 to 3 times a week. Right now I have the time to do it, but I want to set myself up by making videos now that I'm off. So when I do go back to work, I still have videos saved away that I can still be posting and making new videos at the same time. Again, grow my channel base. I said 5,000, but honestly, if I get to 10,000, I'll be ecstatic, okay? And just the last thing, my goal is to just stay true to myself and grow my business as best as I can and as honestly as I can, and give you all great content so you all can keep coming back. If you have any other questions that you would like to ask me, feel free to either email me, hit me up on social media, or just leave it down in the comment box, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Again, happy New Year's, happy 2023. I hope it is very prosperous for everybody. Again, thank you for the 1,000 followers, and we're gonna get to it this year. So let's go.